We can get stuck by that one chapter of fear. We can get stuck by that one chapter of failure. We can get stuck by this hard year that we've had in business. We can get stuck by an awesome year we've had in business. We can get stuck by that one diagnosis, that one email, that one relationship. And we end up living in this bondage of the past chapters, and it means that the following chapters are actually not living to the best we can. And so in this video, I just want to encourage you to take a few moments and walk you through some questions that you can answer for yourself to reset, ready for this new year of 2020, or even if you're watching this video later on, you can still use it as a place to just take a moment, reset, and get ready. If you're new here, I help business owners show up consistently and wholeheartedly to their audience without the overwhelm. So let's dive into actually how we can reset, ready for a new year, because I want to help you do that. So the first thing we need to do is let's reevaluate the year or the season, whatever you're evaluating and resetting for. What worked? I want you to write down what actually worked. So for me, I did a summit and that worked really well for my business because it helped me gain a lot of new subscribers and gain more exposure, but also helped serve my audience really well. Another thing that worked was having a referral system in place for my business. And another thing that worked was hiring a business coach and a virtual assistant and a Pinterest manager and a bookkeeper. So those were some things that worked. Now what I want you to do is take a moment, pause this video if you need, and just write down what worked. Because it's important that we remember what worked. Otherwise, we'll just continue in this cycle of either repeating things that didn't work or not actually redoing the things that worked. Why reinvent the wheel? Why try and do something that is different to what's already worked before? So that's the first thing, is I want you to think what worked. The second thing I want you to now do is work out what didn't work. Now, this isn't a time for you to beat yourself up. It isn't a time for you to just go on and on about all the things that didn't work or be hard on yourself, because the reality is no one's actually going to read this. It's just for you to reflect. And the way we reflect well is by looking at the things that didn't work, not in the way of we're terrible, this didn't work because of, the ideas I had or the decisions I made, I'm a terrible business owner. No, this is a space for you to go, okay, what didn't work so that I can improve for next time? So it's looking with the hope of the future so that you can reset, but we need to first work through what actually didn't work. So some examples of things that didn't work in my business were some of the tech that I had didn't work and I don't want to use them again. Some of the hires that I made that didn't quite work and wouldn't use them again or would do it in a different process. Another thing that didn't work was a freebie that I had. It didn't convert very well. So they're just some examples of some things you can reevaluate and dive deeper into. I'm just going surface level here for some examples to get you thinking, but I want you to really dive deep. An example for me was that I really struggled with the mindset of not being good enough. And that didn't work for my business because I was struggling to show up wholeheartedly to my clients and to my potential clients. So that's just another example of something that didn't work so that I can think about how I can improve it and reset it for the next year or the next season of business. Now, the third thing is what brought you joy? What were the things that you loved? It may have worked, it may not have worked, but what did you love doing? Because that's going to help you reset, because one, you want to do more of that. And number two, if you're ever looking to outsource, you never want to outsource the things that bring you joy, because the whole reason you're in business is to have the freedom to do what you love. And so by identifying what it is that you love and what brings you joy, you're going to help reset and ready for next year. So now that you've done those three, the last thing I want you to do is ask yourself this question: what needs automating, tweaking, outsourcing, or eliminating. So I'm just going to go through what those 4 things mean really quickly so that you can actually start identifying what these things are. So I suggest first off doing a brain dump of those things that worked, that didn't work, have those all out there. Now what I want you to do is create a square, a piece of paper, divide it into 4 sections and put those titles under each section. Now what you're going to do is you're going to put those tasks and sort them out, the things that worked, that didn't work, all that kind of thing, all the things you do in business, you're going to put them into the different categories. Now this is the way that the real practical stuff gets in place so that you can get ready for this next season. Because if something needs outsourcing, you can start looking at it and looking for people to outsource it to. If something needs tweaking, find a time on your calendar to do that, to tweak it, to look at how you can improve it. If something needs automating, start researching the tech in place. What I love to do is I love searching Facebook groups. The Virtual Savvies is one that I really like to look at because there's a lot of members in there. There's a lot of questions that have been asked. And I just search that particular piece of tech so that I can see what, some people's thoughts are on it and whether I want to use that to automate things or whether I need to outsource that automation process of the setup. And then the last thing is what needs eliminating. Because in this next season of your business, you're going to need to learn to release control. And trust me, that can be a hard thing. But what I've found is that as I've released and eliminated, I've freed up space to say a better yes to the things that need my yes. So for example, some of the things that didn't work, maybe you need to eliminate them in this season. Maybe your Facebook page wasn't converting. Maybe you want to eliminate that for this season and just focus on Instagram and Pinterest, for example. That's what I did when I evaluated my business this time last year. So you want to have a think about what can you do to do all of those things and put them into the category so that you can now reset, ready for this next year. Here's the thing, I don't want you to be held back by any of those niggly things that have been there. The importance of this reflection process is so that you can reset, refresh, ready to go into this next season because it's going to be an amazing season, an incredible season, but you need to set yourself up for success in order to get to that place. Let go of the stuff that hasn't helped, that hasn't worked, that's hurt you. You're going to move into this next season. And if you haven't already subscribed, I bring out new YouTube videos every single Monday. But thank you so much for watching. And I would love to know in the comments, what are some things that you're going to be outsourcing or eliminating or automating or tweaking for this next season of your business?